I think we've talked about this before, and I love that you talked about growing into that masculine part of you, where that awful phrase, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
First of all, it treats a woman like a petulant teenager who has to be placated.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the reasons men often fall into that is they don't want her to withhold sex from them.
Yeah.
And so in a weird way, the man ends up becoming a simp, as the children say today, towards his wife, when he's supposed to be leading the family. And leading the family means telling her what's going to happen that's going to upset her.
Yeah.
And being okay that it's upsetting her. You want to do this in a loving, considerate way, of course. But
no, what I realized
like?
is I was actually using her by avoiding conflict with her. That I'm not facing the conflict with you because I want a particular version of you. And so I know how to have that version of you that I can accept. And it's just by me giving you whatever the heck you want. And then we have some semblance of peace, but it's a false peace. And when I realized like, no, this is not loving to her to just give her whatever she wants so I can get the version of her that I can deal with. Like, no, I need to be able to speak the truth in love for her. And, ultimately happy wife, happy life. We need to realize happiness is an inside job. It's like in a healthy way, her happiness is not my responsibility in a healthy way. There's an unhealthy way to interpret that of like, nope, you do it. I'm gonna do it. I heard that. I want you to cheer up about it. But to be able to say, no, like I'm responsible for learning how to maintain peace in my day-to-day life. And I need to find out what brings me authentic joy that's not at the expense of other people so that I can live in a place of peace, even when everything is at a state of unrest. And if you have two people living out that mature understanding of happiness, you can have a happy marriage. But if I'm living as no, my happiness is your responsibility. And if I'm not happy, it must be because of you. That just creates, I think, a toxic and cocktail.
And what was it like for you as he sort of tried to placate you perhaps and then started changing tactics?
It was hard, and I don't want people to think, oh, he was giving me whatever I want, or he'd have these tantrums, and then he's just like, oh, I'll give it to her, because no, there were just certain real things happening, and I was having baby after baby after baby and not coming up for a breath and becoming incredibly resentful, and it was very hard on top of having a sick child and really judgmental, either family members or whatever, and it was just like, hello, I'm drowning. Do you see me? Hello, the workout can wait, or the talks can wait. Like, I need you. And it's just like, I was getting like angry and frustrated, but at the same time, it was also my own brokenness that amplified that as well, that I didn't deal with. So it made it even worse. But I think that was the other thing that was really difficult and has been in our marriage, but it's just been such a blessing because I wouldn't have it any other way, is our children and the level of just like, I felt like a baby machine. Like it was just like constant. I love my kids. I wouldn't change it. And I thank God for Mother Church and the guidance in just having that, her lead. Like we tried NFP, but I felt like it was just a pause in pregnancy, to be honest, but it's good and it can work. But it didn't for me because I was either breastfeeding or I was pregnant. Like that was it. It was just like there was no, because my cycle wasn't coming back because of the breastfeeding. So it literally was like every 2 years or less than that. After 16 months, I was pregnant. But if it were up to me, in all honesty, the level and even emotionally where I was at, or the postpartum I've experienced, that I probably wouldn't have had that next baby because it would have been too hard. And I'm like, I can't handle it. But God can see what I can handle beyond my issues or emotions or this or that. He's like, no, you can. I'm with you. Like, and I did at one point, I was crying and I'm like so overwhelmed, and I was praying like, why, Lord, do you keep like, I love my kids, but I feel so broken in my body and like emotionally, and this is like so much, like just like, and I felt like one day he said to me in adoration that, Crystalina, every time I put life in your womb, I am leaving my fingerprint inside there of all the grace and everything you need for that baby I'm giving you. Like, I am with you in this. Like, it's again that Jesus of like, I'm going to bat. I'm here. I'm not leaving. Like, I've got you. Like, and that's what we want, right? But because it feels like he's so far away and not like here and tangible. It's just like, you're not really here.
And I think a lot of Catholic couples, particular women, this is another point of false shame of like, I'm not overjoyed by my 4th pregnancy in 2 years, you know, and the fact that I'm really having a hard time with this, I'm not a good Catholic mom.
Yes,
like, this is a
guilt.
big issue.
There's such
Could you talk to that? Could you talk to the many beautiful women who are watching this who just feel like, you've heard Jim Gaffigan's joke about if you want to know what it's like having a 4th baby, just imagine you're drowning and someone hands you a baby while you're drowning. And it's such a beautiful thing to say. But could you give advice to the woman who's watching right now and is just like, I am tapped out and I feel shame that I'm tapped out and I don't know what to do?
You don't feel like yourself at all. It's like, and then you're like, who am I? You know, because all you're doing is like giving and going and serving and not sleeping, and like the life is being taken out of you, drawn out of you. Like, you know, it's a lot and you feel beat up. But at the end of the day, God's grace is sufficient. He will give you everything you need, but it's okay to feel that brokenness. It's okay to feel like, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. Like, this is too much. It's okay to cry if you flip that pregnancy test over and like just start bawling, like, how am I going to do this? Well, you're not going to do this. But if you can look at it like, okay, God is going to do this with you, will really help you. But there is a level sometimes of just like, it's too much. It was crushing me, I felt. But at the same time, I loved my kids. I wouldn't do it any other way. And I thank God. And I look back now to the 11 pregnancies. I mean, we have our 8 kids, but I've had 11 pregnancies. And we've had 3 miscarriages. And those were really hard. And I was going through so much emotionally at the time. And then I'm thinking, because I was going through so much, did that cause it? There was a lot of guilt. Like, was there something that I did? Like, you start self-shaming because you feel like you're broken and you're inadequate and something's wrong with your body. And like, what did I do? And you start like, you know, but at the same time, God gives life, God takes life. And honestly, sometimes I feel those miscarriages are those little soldiers just going to bat for you and your family up there, just praying for you, wanting you, incessantly like giving graces to you. And I know the second that I die, okay, this is my own belief. This isn't like a theological thing, but I, as a mom, I know this millisecond I die,
my wife says the same.
My babies are going to be right there looking at me and leading me to God. Good or bad, they're there, and I'm excited.
It's
like,
funny.
I get to
my
see
wife
them.
was having an argument with this theology student who was talking about, you know, unbaptized babies, and he's like, "Well, actually," and she's like, "I will rip your freaking face off." She didn't say that, but everything in her.
Like, let's go.
Yeah. I'm like, you
Throw
need
down.
to sit this one out. Okay?
Take my word.
But advice for women and men who are both dealing with this.
No, I know.
And maybe what's the advice you wish you were given? Real quick, I know for me, I was going through a rough part of our marriage when we moved to Steubenville, and my wife hit rock bottom as far as physically. I just needed space, and I went on this. Scott Hahn invited me to this Opus Dei retreat, and I went, and I realized I don't want to lecture. I want to lay in bed and watch a movie. That's what haven't done it.
Yes.
And maybe it was a bit of dissociation, but also it was just, I just need to lay down. I guess that's kind of I want the down and dirty advice like that. To men and women who would feel like they're drowning right now.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, when we found out we were expecting our first, it was joy. I mean, it was just pure joy. Like, here we go.
Fear,
that we were hoping,
joy.
You know, to be able to have a big family. And I mean, I think we put 10 miraculous medals on the altar of our wedding, you know, in hopes and expectations for 10 kids.
Did you actually end up keeping them all?
What did you do with all the medals?
No, we have them.
We've got them.
So great. I've lost everything I've had for more than 2 weeks.
So, but when we found out we were expecting our second, we were actually in the hospital with our firstborn, overwhelmed, sleep deprived, health issues, and then the pregnancy test, you know, and Crystal was...
I flipped that thing over and I was like, I'm sitting here, we're in a hospital. I'm like, this is what I felt like, oh my gosh, are all my kids going to be like this? I mean, it was serious. But he almost died. And I was like, oh, this is scary. And then I flip over that pregnancy because I was like so sick. I mean, and I was barely eating anything because he had to have my breast milk and he only could have 3 foods. And my zeros were falling off of me. It was so bad, you know? And I just felt sick, and we took a pregnancy test and I flipped that thing over. And Jason comes walking towards me, and I'm like,
"You bastard!"
No, I was like, I'm like at the time. I mean, everything came out of me, Matt. In that moment, I chucked that thing.
I was like, have you seen the Matrix?
Yes.
Have you seen Matrix? How Neo? Just like,
I chucked that thing at him.
Now I've gotten so good, I can just go boom, and they all just like.
I was bawling and I was crying, and that's where I was. Like, and that was okay. That is okay. That I responded that way. It doesn't make me less or a bad mom, or they don't want my kids. Like, you're okay. Allow yourself to feel how you're feeling without worrying about judgment of other people. And shame on them for judging you. I mean, these people that think that they can look down on you and just it's
like they want a Christianity that isn't even human.
Thank you very much for watching that Pints with Aquinas clip. If you like it, do me a favor, click like and subscribe. And please offer a Hail Mary for the work of Pints with Aquinas and all the people we're trying to reach. God bless you.